It's time for Side Scrollers with me, Stuttering Craig. You decide when you lose, not other people. And Blabs.
I like pickles.
And co-hosted by our friends from around the internet. If you like common sense, hit that thumbs up button and, of course, the subscribe button. And join us Monday through Friday live at 11 a.m. Central Time. And now, broadcasting from our homes, it's time for the #1 gaming and entertainment podcast on God's green earth. It's time for Side Scrollers.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh, welcome on out to Side Scrollers on YouTube.com and Rumble.com and Twitch.tv. What's going on, everybody? Happy Tuesday to you. Hi. Stuttering Craig. Oh my God, it's going to be a good day. We have an awesome group of friends joining us today. Unfortunately, Blabs is not one of them. She is down and out with the flu. It finally took her out. Not, but you know, right? So she's down and out, but that's okay. We got some good friends joining us, including a returning guest today, our boy Roddy.
What's going on, my man?
How are you?
Doing all right. You lost a nerd for one day, and you brought in another.
I brought in
your second resident nerd.
Uber dork. That's how I should introduce you. Uber dork, Roddy Primal. Let's go.
There
Roddy,
you go.
how are you, man?
I'm doing all right. I'm living life and doing what I got to do to keep a roof over my head. So,
can we talk about what you just told me before we went live? Can we talk about that?
Yeah, sure. I'll let everybody know. I mean, I in addition to trying to build my YouTube channel up, I had I put my 2 weeks in at a job that I was working at for about 3 months, just to help make catch up on bills and stuff like that. And the guy was abusing me, man. He was just I was building his YouTube channel, and but yet he was not so nice. And so I finally put my 2 weeks in, and then didn't let me finish the 2 weeks, even though I was quiet, reserved, stayed at my desk, did my job. And he was just like, out you go, man. Hey, out you go. So,
but the point is that you've now taken the next step in your career, handling your career and going to get it, which I love.
Now it's a matter of making sure my YouTube channel gets more and more videos made, subscribers, all that kind of stuff. And yeah, I have 102,000 subscribers, so I should keep rocking and rolling and keep on playing with my Transformers.
I love it. I love it.
I have Hot Rod, I got Ultra Magnus there, set up my I readjusted my my shelves a little bit, which you probably see behind me. So lots of fun times.
I like that you told your boss this.
Go fuck yourself. Is that clear? I hope it is.
I love it. Love it.
A little bit nicer than that, but yes.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure. Well, either way, I'm glad you did that. Congratulations on the big move. We're ready to go. Also joining us today for the first time on the show. Listen, I am really stoked to talk to this gentleman. Damian, superstar, social media megastar, like a quadrillion followers on all social media platforms, super photographer, megastar, mega artist. How are you, Danny? Welcome to the show.
I'm great, Craig. Thank you so much. Love to be here.
So real quick, tell everybody about yourself and what you do so everybody can get to know you a little bit. And because I think it's really awesome.
Oh, well, I'm a photographer. I do videos on YouTube and TikTok, etc. But the real reason I'm here, just so everything is clear, I'm here to confirm some legends about Craig.
Okay. We're going off script. Listen, I was over here. I was gonna be like, hey, let's show off the YouTube channel. Here we go.
Okay. Yeah, we can do that.
Let's show off the TikTok. Let's show off the Instagram and all the hot girls you take photos with and stuff. Nope. Let's talk about this dumb shit over here in the corner. Here we go. Do you want to get into that, Danny? Do you want to confirm things now, or do you want to do that later?
We can. I'm ready when you are. I got it queued up.
Listen, Danny, I don't think you realize. Have you ever seen the movie Pee-wee's Big Adventure?
A million times.
Okay. You know the scene where the kind of bratty guy. He's on the set. He's the boy, and he's like, "Are you ready?" He's like, "I've been ready. Roll."
Yeah.
That's me right now. I've been ready. Let's roll. So I'm sorry. This is okay. Just so you know, this is all. Look, let's get to this real quick, Danny. Hold on first.
Right.
Before we get to that, I want to remind everybody we are live over at rumble.com/sidescrollers. Do us a favor, hit the follow button over there. We also have an X account at SidescrollerPod. You guys can follow us over there, get clips of the show, get updates on guests, things like that. We also have an Instagram, don't we, Blabs? Blabs is, once again, not joining us today, but we are right on the cusp of hitting a new threshold over there, so hit the follow button over there. We also have Kick, and we just yesterday passed 60,000 subscribers of lovers of common sense on this wonderful YouTube channel, currently sitting at a sweet, in real time, 60,232. Thank you guys very much for your support. Our goal for the year when we started this show back in February was reach 50,000 subscribers. We are now 10,000 over. Thank you guys so much. Your help and support and letting people know this show exists is why we've been able to grow so quickly. So thank you very much for your support. And next stop, 60,001. Let's go. Every subscriber matters. That's the most important thing. Do us a favor, hit the thumbs up button if you're tuning in for the first time, or if you're not, because we like to hit our goal of 300 thumbs up. We've been blowing past that. We may need to up that goal. We need to get to like 400 or 500 or something. And as always, our goal is to get to 20 memberships for the day. So let's get on that. All right, Danny, are you ready? What do you have to show me? I'm very intrigued by.
All right, you're ready to see this?
Yeah, sure. I guess. Are you going to send me something, or should I be expecting something on Twitter?
Will this focus? Can you tell what this is?
Yes, that is an SGC.
This is an original. Card. This is my SGC pass.
From what year?
The first SGC.
From SGC 2008?
Yes.
Oh, no. Oh, wait. I just got your DMs.
So I sent Craig, there's a photo of me and Craig.
Oh, Lord. Here we are. Look at this. Oh, that's awesome. That is spectacular. All right. Long time ago, right outside the old. I know exactly where that is. I know exactly where that is. That is outstanding. Okay. And then we have another picture here. Oh, this is nice. This is with Keith Apicary here, huh? Oh,
I got a whole story about Keith.
Okay. Roddy, are you familiar with Keith Apicary? Do you know the idea behind
I remember him and all of the crazy antics that used to take place back in the day, a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away.
yeah, man, it was good times. Now
you saw my photo with I think it was with James and Jay from the game chasers. So and so now it's like we all got to like meet in person again. So
absolutely. And it looks like there's one more picture, which is I love that you still have this. This is outstanding. It looks like what is this on the bottom down here? Looks like on the very, very bottom down here. What is this?
There is a fortune cookie fortune. That's unrelated. But yes, that is hanging up back in my parents' house in my old room. That's still there.
Nice.
That's awesome.
So yeah, this is the old Screw Attack crew with the old Street Fighter 4 art style. Love that. That's great, man. Very, very cool. Wow. So you're an OG, man. You're an OG. I love it.
Indeed.
That's great, man. Well, thank you for sharing that. That's awesome. Did you have fun at SGC a decade and a half ago?
Yeah, I mean, my amazing father, I convinced him to take me on the first, plane flight ever to go there. And he just hung out in the hotel. There was nothing for him to do, really. And he was just, okay, come back around midnight or whatever. And me and my friend who were there, we just had an amazing time.
That's awesome. You said you had a story about Nathan?
Oh, I have so many, but so if I can go for an aside on Nathan for a moment.
Sure.
So when I first saw his first Keith Apicary video that premiered on Screw Attack, I thought, man, this guy's annoying and weird, and what is wrong with this guy? But then when I met him, he had this wild energy that everyone in the room had their eyes on him. He was like this lightning rod of spectacle in how he would just improvise in this character. It was unbelievable. But there was one point where he took me aside and he's like, "Hey, I'm really nervous about my panel tomorrow. I don't really know what I'm going to do. Everybody has, they've done these type of things before. I don't know what I'm doing." And I told him, 13-year-old Danny, Nathan, or Keith, everyone loves you here, man. You can do no wrong. And then he said, "Okay, well, at the end, I'm going to rip my shirt off and yell, 'I'm Rambo,' and run through the hotel. If I hand you the Nintendo Zapper, will you do this with me?"
You were the kid that did it with him?
And so at the panel, he's like, "All right, everybody come up." And so I went up there along with other people, and we all took our shirts off and yelled. And he gave me the Nintendo Zapper, and we, stormed the hotel.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
And then we started the wet conga from the top of the hotel to the bottom.
Yes. Yep. Listen, you're talking about all sorts of super niche things, but those who were there knew
The
what was
wet
going
conga.
on.
I mean, you had to be there.
Yeah. The old wet conga for sure, man. It was nuts. Well, I'm glad. Listen, I love it. I love everything about it. I love that you're back at it. And yes, Roddy.
Did I freeze? Did we freeze?
You froze, Roddy, but you're back. Okay. It's okay. Well, I love it, man. I always said this about Nathan. Keith Apicary. He was the best thing about SGC and also the scariest thing about SGC.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
So, Roddy, are you doing some sort of what are you doing with your hands?
That car is now Hot Rod in robot mode.
I thought you were doing some sort of
I had to transform him in real time. So
it only makes sense for you to be doing a transformer while we're. I love it.
Of course,
I love it. Well, like I said, I'm glad you guys are on today. I'm glad we got a little fun nostalgia here. We got a lot to talk about. Coming up on Thursday, we'll have Chrissy Mayer on the show. We'll have her on, which will be really great. Tomorrow we'll have our usual Adam and Flawed combo of oil and water. That'll be great. And then on Friday we'll round out the week with Melody Mac. And next week we're going to be off because it's Christmas week and all that fun stuff. But we'll be back to kick back the new year on January 1, like we never left. So yeah, man, we got a great week today, a great week this week, and a great show today. So with that said, it's time to get into it. It's time for my favorite segment, your favorite segment, everybody in the world's favorite segment. It's time for Hard News.
Hard News.
All right, Danny, do you remember Hard News and Side Scrollers?
Do I? Yeah, of course.
Okay, love it. Oh, that's awesome. Well, let's start off going to X and specifically the leaks that have happened across the gaming sphere over the last couple days. They've been wild as shit. Do you guys play any Rocksteady games? Are you familiar with the Rocksteady?
Didn't they do some of the Arkham games?
Yes, they did. And they have a new game called Suicide Squad: Kill the Justice League coming out very, very soon. And there were some massive leaks that hit the internet based off of everything that's kind of happening. And it's really kind of crazy to see. First off, Rocksteady respond to them. And I think let's first talk about the big leak. And the big leak is that kind of take a step back. Kevin Conroy was the voice of who? Does anybody know? Batman, correct. And Kevin Conroy recently passed. He passed away. R.I.P. Some say he was the best Batman ever. And it has been leaked that in this Suicide Squad game that Batman will be offed. I guess I can say suicided. No, not suicided by force by this group, and that has really sent the internet in a tizzy, I would say, especially Batman fans. And we're talking about something that is very near and dear to people's hearts. Obviously, Batman as a character, but also the idea of Kevin Conroy and his him being, him passing and them kind of using this as an opportunity. This is literally his last performance, and they're using it as an opportunity to, it's kind of, I don't know, people kind of see it as classless. I don't know. Would love to hear y'all's thoughts on this. First and foremost, is killing Batman in Kevin Conroy's last performance classless?
I got thoughts on that right after the 20 gifted memberships that someone just gave.
Hey, Roddy, let's go. Let them know. Shane came in with 20 gifted memberships. Hey, Danny, you know how big that is?
I don't.
That's massive. 20 gifted memberships. That's huge. Thank you so much, Shane. I'm going to get you
Your
on the
goal
wall.
was 20 and you got it. Like
That's
right there and there, man.
Shane delivered today.
Jeez.
That's awesome. Wow. So what you don't know, Danny, and maybe you do, I don't know, but every time if we have like over 10 memberships, or you get placed on the wall. And Shane Benton, that's why my wall looks like it does. So Shane's going back on the wall, which is great. Let's get him on the wall. Roddy, take it away, man. Tell us your thoughts on this as I put Shane on the wall. But first, I want everybody to do me a favor and look at it. Look at it.
Boom. So when I first saw this, at first I did watch the trailer for it. The thing is, it's of course it's sad that Kevin Conroy passed, but I'm guessing they plan to do this already with the character, with the game to begin with. So they were already going to do whatever they were going to do in game. I just don't necessarily know if they made plans to change it from, I didn't know if they planned to change it after his passing, because this game has probably been in development for quite some time.
Right.
Knowing how these AAA games go, they spend like years in development. And, so they probably had already planned to have, these characters die. However, I'm really, really tired of superheroes being made to be villains. I'm just tired of it. We haven't had a video game where Superman is the hero in how long? Ever since Injustice. It's been nothing but, all of Batman, Superman, all of them, they all end up being villains.
Right.
And it's like, why? I'm tired of it.
Yeah. The world has certainly flipped in that. And I think, this is going to sound really silly, but I feel like the anti-hero, the coolness of the anti-hero almost started at like the turn of the century with like Stone Cold Steve Austin in WWF, where he was supposed to be the bad guy. And then he was the, and then like, he was the anti-hero or whatever. And it's cool. It's cool to be the bad guy. And that kind of trickled over in this. I mean, maybe I'm thinking way too much about this, but I don't know. Danny, your thoughts on this?
Well, just of what you mentioned there about villains, anti-heroes, it reminds me of how there was all those noir detective films through the 20s and 30s, 40s, etc. And they're very earnest and straightforward and have endings where the crime is solved, everything works out great. And that becomes so oversaturated at a point where people are just tired of it. Naturally, and then you get to the point of the film Chinatown, where it's the most downer ending of all time. We've had the earnest Christopher Reeves Superman, and he's good, and it's as simple as that, and there's no irony to it. And so it seems to me it's just the natural course of, all right, well, this is the phase where things are inverted. And then they'll be re-inverted again, and they'll go back to being earnest. I don't know, a couple years from now, people will get tired, like Roddy says he's tired of it. Yeah. And that will become more of a collective, just natural thing, I think, over time. We'll go back to that soon, I think. I hope.
At least we hope so. I mean, you would think so, but I honestly don't think that they want to even make that shift. And, the sales on those things where they keep inverting things like that clearly are going down, and they don't, unless they see what they don't course correct and start making heroes, good. Like, I mean, you think about this, like the MCU started off with the whole idea of secret identities are gone. Right. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, but secret identities is like a thing, like that's the whole thing with superheroes. Like now they make superheroes that they're villains, and we have the Suicide Squad has to end them. And you can almost look at that like, okay, it is a separate universe, but I'm tired of separate universes. Like it's just, constant reboot, constant, like, come on, like let's make, a good. I kind of want that I'm kind of yearning for that traditional story out of these superheroes again.
Right.
And to make them the heroes that they once were, the aspirational hero that Superman should be, the world's greatest detective that Batman should be, and the mighty warrior of Wonder Woman. Like, let's make those heroes great again. So I know it's like a cat phrase, but like it really is.
I feel like in a situation like this where you have what you'll see is people say, well, there's no depth to these characters. There's no depth. So we want to give them all these twists and turns and stuff. I get it, right? But there is something fun about just seeing the good guy win, right?
Yeah.
I watched the new Beverly Hills Cop is coming out on Netflix here pretty soon. The Beverly Hills Cop, Axel Foley. Have you guys seen the trailer for that?
I've seen the thumbnail.
Okay, so I watched the original Beverly Hills Cop because it's like available on Netflix. They're trying to gear up promotion for it. I was like, okay, I'll get into it. And I'd seen bits and pieces of it, but Axel Foley I always wondered why I was able to get 3 movies. And I was curious if it was because of Eddie Murphy, or if it was like the Axel Foley character, or it was the music, or what was it about? And what's interesting about that movie is you have this guy who at his core, he's a good dude. Like Axel Foley, he has they touch on his troubled past. He was a hoodlum growing up, and the whole idea of the story is that he's trying to get revenge for one of his hoodlum friends who was killed by bad dudes, right? That's why he ends up going to Beverly Hills to begin with. But all of his actions are done with good intentions. And the thing that aggravates people about Axel Foley is that he's very smart about how he bends rules, right? And but he always has a guiding light of good behind him, at least in the first movie. I haven't seen the second and third. And I think that's why people really enjoyed the movie, is that he's a fun character, and he's not smarmy, but he is always trying to do good and do right for his friends and his friend that he always had. And like, that's really like, the complexity isn't a major subtext. It was done in like 2 lines, hey, you remember that time we did this when we were kids? And you went to juvie and I didn't do this, and you didn't tell on me, and it wasn't like a 30-minute drawn out sequence about whatever. It was just like 2 lines, and it was perfect. But I really enjoyed it. And anyways, with all that said, Superman's gonna die in this next game. So Rocksteady came out, and they put a quote out about it, or a statement says, "We're looking forward to players experiencing the story we've crafted in Suicide Squad: Kill the Justice League once the game launches in the new year. We hope everyone can play the game and feel each moment of the narrative for themselves. It's very disappointing to see details being shared ahead of the game's release, so we can only urge that you try to avoid spoilers where you can. And please try not to impact the enjoyment of other players by posting spoilers. We'll see you in Metropolis on 2/2/24. So the game's coming out in like just a couple months, about 6 weeks away. It's interesting. And I want to go to this other quote from Flash. Are you guys? We've talked about this company several times on the show. Danny, are you familiar with Sweet Baby Inc?
No.
Have you heard of this company? This is a consulting company. And Roddy, have you heard about Sweet Baby Inc?
Never heard of them before.
So they are a consulting company that has kind of found their way into many of the top game companies in the video game industry over the last 3, 4, 5 years, based off of kind of how society has gone. And their influence you can see their influence on a lot of levels in a lot of games based off of them touching the story in games, them touching various narrative aspects and such. And sure enough, Sweet Baby Inc. was associated with this game as well. And this is from Yellow Flash over on Twitter, saying the leak for sure shows off that Sweet Baby Inc.'s influence. I'm going to stop buying any game attached to them at this point. I think that's the best bet. And without going too much into it, they lean very much into a lot of changing of characters from their origin stories and things like that. They try to push certain narratives, and it's things that like nobody asked for, but they feel is needed and such. So this is just another example of it, and it's one of those things where it's like, okay, we really didn't need that the entire time, but here we are, and thanks for that. So they're quickly becoming a notable thorn in the side of gamers everywhere, this Sweet Baby Inc. But they're getting hired by everybody. So
are they the Ryan Johnson of the gaming industry? Is this like a Last Jedi sort of thing going on, Craig? Is that what you're alluding to? Is a sort of inserting of the hero mythology inversion, and it's all about critique of that, and instead of doing it well?
No, a lot of it's based off of okay, so I don't nobody has any issue with a lot of things. Okay, so what they'll do like race swaps or gender swaps or try to put in some sort of like political messaging into games that wasn't there initially, and it's like nobody asked for this. Why is this necessary? And I think that's probably the biggest thing with them. And credit to our friends over at Melee Games. They've kind of been hard on pressing on some of the things that you can very much tell their influence has led to along the way. So yeah, it's a mess, man. It's a mess. But speaking of a mess, let's move on to our next story here, because this one is insane. This is like one of the biggest stories of the year, as Insomniac Games, about a week ago, actually, yes, 1 week ago, they were alerted that there had been a hack by a group of hackers. And they said, we have, it turns out, 1.3 million files. And we have information on the upcoming Wolverine game, as well as all this stuff. And more or less, they created a ransom for the game, for all this data. And they said, look, you pay us $2 million and we'll give it back, or we release it. And they said, you need to give it to us in 7 days. And this is like do you want to talk about like a movie? This is some serious shit. This is like crazy. So 7 days has passed. And this morning, late last night, guess what? All the data has been dumped online.
Wow.
Now, this is crazy, because Sony, who owns Insomniac, could have bent the knee, and they could have said, hey, we'll pay up. Because the thing about this is, it's not just gaming material. It also has some personal information for some of their employees, passports, cool. Things like that, right? And that's not cool. But this is all stuff that was on the their servers and such. So it was all made available, and this company has come out and they did a ransom. It said they're called Resita, I guess it is, RHS. Resita, maybe, I don't know. You can kind of tell me. We'll just call them Resita, because that's like Karate Kid. Yeah. Resita. So Resita ransomware game has posted a trove of Insomniac Games' internal data to its darknet leak site following the passing of its ransom deadline. 1.6 terabytes, 1.3 million files. Many appear to be going to the Wolverine game. And the gang said, this is the crazy thing about it. It says, the data was uploaded, data hunters enjoy, but they only posted 98% only posted 98% of it, because after they put the threat that they hacked them publicly, they were asking for $2 million, and they said any buyer, including Sony, was welcome to bid. So somebody went in and bought 2% of the data from them, which they don't know. So which is crazy. So what's a part of this leak, you may be asking yourself? Well, there's a lot. There's a lot here, and let me see if I can pull this up. They have leaked that a Venom game is coming in 2025, Wolverine game in 2026, Spider-Man 3 2028, all the way out to 2030, right? And they actually have a fully functioning build of the Wolverine game at this certain point, which I'm not going to show, because we're definitely going to get flagged for copyright if we show that. I'm sure Insomniac. But it's like very much an early alpha beta version of the game, considering the game's coming out in 2026. But it's exactly what you'd expect from a Wolverine game. Hack and slash, run, jump, stab guy in the head, that type of thing. Very bloody and brutal and stuff. It looks pretty fun for what it is right now. But I want to take a step back a little bit further. Do you feel it was the right decision for Sony to not pay the $2 million, not to protect the games, because it is what it is. The games are the games, but to protect their employees' personal data? And let's start with you, Danny.
Well, hey, if you got $2 million to spare, go for it. But at the same time, there's part of me that's like, no, I'm not negotiating with you guys. I'm not bending the knee to you guys. So it really, I can see it go both ways of, no, we got to protect people's data. But at the same time, no, screw these guys. We're not giving them anything. I kind of see it from both sides myself. I don't know what I would do in that situation if I was in charge.
Roddy?
Double-edged sword, my man. Just like you said, like it's, you know, you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. Like, what do you do in those kind of situations? So you get someone who hacks in, and I think the worst of it is the personal information of employees, you know, getting leaked out there. Those are the kind of things that, like, you know, I think that like hackers go crazy and they end up getting all this data for games and stuff like that, and getting all these assets for stuff. That's one thing, and that's where you can, you know, you can argue either way. But I think the sensitive data for employees, I think, is the one thing that should be, you know, kind of like if hackers had any morals themselves, they would at least not leak out the personal data and information and social security numbers and passwords for, you know, for some of these people, even if you even if you hate them, like, just, you know, that's where I think it's really wrong. But as far as the games is concerned, you know, obviously, you know, they're more so looking, trying to get money. I think these hackers are just trying to get money out of them.
Well, of course,
$2 million is not a lot of money in the in a lot of these gaming companies, or at least as far as we know, especially the AAA ones.
Well, it's not. And let me actually compound that a little bit further. As the reason I chose this article, there's a ton of articles about this, but cyberdaily.au, some Australian website. I've never heard of this website before, but they actually reached out to the Reseda folks and actually got a response from them. And Reseda said, yes, we knew who we were attacking. We knew the developers making games like this would be an easy target. It also turns out the hack itself didn't present much of a problem, with the spokesperson saying, we were able to get the domain administrator within 20 to 25 minutes of hacking their network. 20 to 25 minutes, which is nuts. And they said Sony has launched an investigation, but it would be better in their backyard, right? And one other kind of big point of interest here is that according to the agreements that were leaked in this, Wolverine is set to be published no later than the 1st of September 2025. Whatever, these are great dates, whatever. But according to the agreement, Sony is expected to spend about $120 million on each title, right? So the $2 million that they were asking is marginal, to say the least, right? But obviously the chat is very split on this, because there's a lot of people saying you do not negotiate with terrorists, right? Absolutely, and I tend to agree with you on that, but then there's other people saying that you've got to protect your employees at all times. So it's a no-win situation for anybody. And I think that if they do pay, it only encourages this to happen considerably more than what it's already happened, which is, I think probably what would happen in that situation is, oh, thanks for the 2 million. By the way, guess what? We got more, and they're going to go down. Congratulations, Nintendo. Congratulations, Microsoft. We have your leak for the next 10 years as well. And all of a sudden, all these hackers are making money from doing that, which is crazy. So it's nuts to see. And I think as far as the games that are listed out there, going back to the original list of like Venom, Wolverine, Spider-Man, the new Ratchet and Clank. That's only 6 years away, which means they haven't even begun development or even thinking about that. But these are obviously all built around Marvel IPs and such, and that's more or less what Insomniac has become, is a Marvel IP creator. But none of these really strike me as a surprise. Danny, do these surprise you at all?
No, it's like, oh yeah, Venom. Oh yeah, Wolverine. Oh yeah, Spider-Man 3, of course. Oh,
right. That's kind of my thought too. It's like, okay, cool. All right, that's fine. What is this? But it is. I think the big thing with this story is that it truly tells you that you're never, ever truly secure. Right?
Oh God.
Like that's the reality is if people want your data, they will find your data. And that's the scariest part about this whole thing, so which is why I'm going to go live off the grid after today's show. So,
Yeah.
I'm going to close all my bank accounts, cash it all out and just go. So no, that's horrible. Real quick, let's get to some super chats real fast. Kyle came in with $4.99, says, I hear that there's a Venom game in the league. Will it top the SNES classic Spider-Man and Venom Maximum Carnage?
Game is so hard.
Kyle, I hope that's the case. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. And confirmed in this leak, Venom game 2025. JWT came in and says, comic characters were artificially preserved. We should be celebrating their end and searching for new heroes and ideas instead of hoping for resurgence. Oh,
that's a true statement in a lot of ways, because a lot of people are creating new characters and new IPs that are becoming successful in a lot of ways. Like you hear about that a lot with, folks, I mean, like Ripperverse and, anybody who's making independent games. Like there's like a whole indie scene on Nintendo Switch. Like it's, crazy. So instead of all this AAA stuff, you're seeing people making their own IPs, which I think is great. So
yeah, I look, I've said it all along, man. Like, just start your own thing, figure it out, do it yourself. And I was watching this. I watch these entrepreneurial videos on YouTube, and there's this guy who was a YouTuber who started a candy company. He was like, I like candy, so I started a candy company. And his thing was like, just do it, you'll figure it out. You don't need to have all the answers, and just figure it out. So you have an idea for a comic book character or a new IP, just do it, figure it out. You'll figure it out along the way. It's kind of been my mantra my entire life. I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Jerry became a brand new member. Thank you very much, Jerry. Greatly appreciate you, man. I feel like you've been a brand new member many times. Yes, it has. As 25 months. There it is. I don't know why you got 2 notifications, but I appreciate it. Mercenary says, Sweet Baby Inc. is the kiss of death to me of any game now. As for the hackers, why does Sony have people's passports and this level of security? Remember the Sony email leaks? Bad players all over. Yes, and that's Mercenary. That's a really good point. This is not the first time that Sony has been hacked or lost personal information. Specifically, last time, the biggest leak was their customers' information, which probably included all of us here, which is just shitty. Jam Call came in and says, you think they'd black box / isolate workers' info to a separate hidden network?
That would make sense.
Almost too much sense. Almost. Thank you very much, and you are correct. The Nobody Cares Man says, I'm honestly more proud to have one of my comments being featured in a 10-plus-year-old JonTron video than to have attended university. Also, what's a gifted membership? Well, Nobody Cares, man. I'm glad that is a big point of honor for you, being featured in a JonTron video. And a gifted membership is when somebody graciously donates a membership, which allows you to use emotes and make sure your name green and all that stuff. So we appreciate that. Yes. Who Be You came in with a Prime sub over on Twitch, and Aquin came in with a Prime sub for 3 months. Says, love this pod. Hey, thank you very much. If you guys would like to support the show and you'd like to spend no money doing so, you have Amazon Prime, you can sync it up with your Twitch account and support us for free with a free Prime sub. You don't have to pay any money. It's already included in your Amazon Prime sub, and it gives us $2.50. And we appreciate that. It goes a long way, believe it or not. Big, long way. So thank you very much for your support. And you head over to twitch.tv/stutteringcraig. The link is down below. So, which, by the way, I'm going to change that for 2024. So Sailor Dream says, damn, Craig got the Peter Parker actor on his show. Oh, you look like
Here we are. We're talking about Spider-Man, and here's a guy who looks like Spider. Well,
yeah, photographer for the Daily Bugle.
That's awesome. Do you get that a lot? You get the Peter Parker thing?
I get Penn Badgley from the Netflix show You constantly.
I'm not familiar with that one, but
good.
Yeah,
good.
I love it. That's great. All right, let's go to our next story here, and then I want to talk to Danny. I want to talk to Danny after this one. All right, did you guys see the Mario movie?
Of course,
I did not.
You did not. It was good, man. A lot of people did. Made over $1 billion.
I saw the original many times.
Oh god.
I'll say this: the animated one better than the original.
I'm sure.
My kids love that. They sing Peaches like crazy, running around like the house. And we were actually at my parents' house over the weekend, and watching the Mario movie, and my kids are running around the living room singing Peaches, singing with all the different things that are going on in that movie. It's so fun.
Danny, have you seen Peaches, the hit song from the movie?
I think I saw the clip of Jack Black, the animated scene of that. Yeah, the movie looks really fun.
Yeah,
I wish I could have gone with my nephew or something.
Yeah, well, trust me, you did not need to go to with your nephew, because it was fun for 42-year-old Craig to go as well.
42-year-old Rodimus, yep.
Right. But the Peaches song was done by Jack Black. It currently on YouTube has 96 million views on the primary Illumination video, and 56 million more views on the Jack Black channel. So it's been viewed 150 million times on YouTube. And that's not knocking all the re-uploads and everything else associated with it. But so Jack Black was Bowser in that movie. And there's been talks behind the scenes of a lot of like what's going to happen with the Mario 2 movie. But Jack Black says he doesn't know what is going to happen with Mario 2, but he's ready to get back to work, and he has some ideas. He says right now the only chatter has been coming from me. Let me actually pull up this story. Thank you so much, VG247. Says the only chatter has been coming from me, and I don't even know if I'm allowed to chatter. I've been chomping at the bit to get back to business. And he says he wants to make the sequel a full-on musical, like what Todd Phillips is doing supposedly with Joker 2. So a musical Mario 2 sequel. Thoughts? We'll start with Roddy.
Maybe a side thing, like maybe like a side adventure kind of thing, like have a I don't know, like they have like a short before another Illumination film, like have like a little musical kind of thing. That would be fine. But you know what I really want? I want Mario 2. I want Wart to come to the Mushroom Kingdom or something. Bring on the Shy Guys, bring on the Albatrosses, bring on the Flurries, bring on the Triclydes and everything, man. Bring on classic Mario. I know. It's Mario USA or Doki Doki Panic, but
No, I love you. You want them to follow the games, right?
Yeah, I want Mario 2, and then we can bring on the Koopa Kids for Mario 3.
Oh man,
and
that'd be great.
Have all of the different lands that they go to, and we can explore a little bit more. Like that would be kind of fun.
Love it.
Don't do the Mortal Kombat Annihilation thing and make Mortal Kombat 2 and 3 into one movie.
I think that's actually a really interesting idea. I love it. And wouldn't it be great for them to like Birdo and Wart? Those are characters that you just haven't seen like in forever, right?
Yeah.
And they're so not even on the Mario
Bowser from the Super Mario Brothers Super Show.
Bowser, yeah. I don't know, like the idea of I understand why Jack Black would think something like that. The idea that, hey, we want to do a musical. It's musical. It's fun because I just had a hit song and I made lots of money from this music that I made. And Jack Black is a musician, obviously. With his band. What was his band called?
Tenacious D.
There you go, Tenacious D. Yeah, and he's kind of had his little cult following, so it would make sense for him to kind of want to do a musical, because he could have the freedom to write all sorts of in-depth songs like Peaches. You're so cool. That have you ever actually looked at the lyrics to that, Roddy?
Of course.
With
my start, obviously it's literally narrating what's happening in the movie, and then the second part of it during the the ending, but like obviously they merge it into one song, so the reprisal.
Danny, I would like to give you the incredibly in-depth lyrics of Peaches.
Okay, let's hear it.
Peach, you're so cool, and with my star, you're gonna rule. Peach, understand, I'm gonna love you till the very end. Peaches, 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 peaches. Peaches, 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 peaches. I love you. Oh. Peaches, 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 peaches. Peaches, 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 peaches. I love you. Oh. Jack Black's rich. Congratulations.
It's all in how you do it.
he's
kind of like Kefka with hates.
Yeah. Just it's great. See, Aaron knows that was amazing. That's what I do. It's crazy. Well, there you go. So I guess we'll see what happens with the new Mario movie coming soon. There is one last thing I wanted to do before we get into Danny here. And this is, we can't have Roddy on the panel and not talk about this. But before we get to that, I want to let you know that Noodles came in with the $49.99 super chat. Says,
rock on, man.
About to get on a plane to go to the Philippines and get married. Let's go, Noodles.
Yes, rock on.
Just want to say Merry Christmas to everyone. I also hope Blaz feel better. Much love, everyone. Noodles, congratulations. That's awesome. Man, that is spectacular. Good for you, and way to get married, way to get all hitched and stuff. And thank you so much for the $49.99 Noodles. Let's get you on the damn wall. That is awesome. I'm going to put a little wedding ring on your thing, on your picture because you're getting married. So let's go. Hey, Noodles, do me a favor. Look at it right there. See, that's a
look at the ring. There it goes.
There it was. There it goes. All right, Noodles. Thank you very much. Enjoy your time in the Philippines, buddy. That's awesome, Noodles. Congratulations. Got to get some rings in the chat, please, for Noodles. And the worthy one says, picture being a person of color, and almost everyone around you has a victim complex, and white people who lean very far to the left try to pander to you. That's something I live with every day. The worthy one, I'm sorry to hear that. I'm sorry you got to deal with that insanity. And hey, stay strong out there. Thank you, worthy one. And Marta, let's see. Oh, Smart Tail C Nation came in with the Prime sub. I just totally butchered that. No, it's Smart Alec Nation. There it is. I got it.
Smart Alec.
Smart. It all comes together. These words, and there's no capital letters and stuff. A Smart Alec Nation has come in with.
You
the
had
Prime
a hard
sub.
time reading them yesterday, didn't you?
I'm a bad reader. Yeah. I'm a horror. That's why I watch videos and do videos for a living. All right, let's go to this last one. And I know, Roddy, this is going to be very near and dear to your heart.
Indeed.
Peter Cullen, the voice of Optimus Prime, that's a horrible version of it, got the Lifetime Achievement Award for his for voicing his character and such. And he went up and did a speech, and his speech was balling, man. I watched it. It was spectacular.
Yeah.
I mean,
that was something special, man. Like, he deserves every accolade he got, and towards the end when he mentions his brother about the reason why he came up with the voice of Optimus Prime was because his brother was in the Marines, and, Peter is going to audition to try to, get different parts. He was the Predator, the voice of the Predator in the original, Predator movie. He was the Animal Grunts in the 1976 King Kong. He was the voice of Toonami, only Toonami. He was the voice of I think it was what was the name of the character in Voltron? He was also the narrator from Days of Long Ago, from uncharted regions of the universe comes a legend, right? But he was also when he went to audition for Optimus Prime, he said that his brother said, "Be a real hero. Don't be like one of these Hollywood heroes that are always like loud and in your face. Like, be strong enough to be gentle." And you want
to watch a little bit of this real quick? You want to watch some of
this? Yeah, if you want to bring up the clip, sure.
Sure. Here we go. Let's just, I don't really know where this is, but I think it's about that point.
With all my heart, we are one. I'm thankful to Hasbro.
Well, let me go back a little bit.
Always. To my agent, my friend, Kevin Motley.
Was it before the agent or after the agent? Sorry.
It was like towards the end that he mentioned his brother.
Whose skills. Thank you to Steve Tischerman, my agent retired, who persisted on. To Frank Welker and Jonathan Winters.
Frank Welker
the kings of
Frank
characters
Welker
and voices.
An award 7 years ago, and they did it backstage. They didn't even do it like live on TV.
Oh, that's rough, man.
And Frank Welker is like everything, man. If you know who the voices Frank Welker has done,
give us a rundown.
He's Freddy and Scooby Doo. He's the current voice of Scooby Doo. He's he was obviously Megatron, Soundwave. Like, you know, again, I'm going to nerd out here. So
Yeah. Well, here's the last couple minutes of this.
that make me laugh more than anything, anywhere, at any time. And now, a time to thank my many Transformer fans and friends with all my heart. We are one. I'm thankful to Hasbro.
He goes and he thanks his brother, but I do want to hear the very, very tail end of this, because the last 20 seconds of this, where he goes into Optimus Prime voice, is like, it's pretty amazing.
And to you, my peers, my friends, I thank you till all are one.
And everyone goes, oh yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. So Roddy, your thoughts? You're obviously a big Transformers guy. Fire away, man. Nerd out.
I think it's well deserved. Well deserved. It's something that I think that he should have gotten even sooner than that, but knowing that, like, a lot of us as fans, we fought for him. Back in 2005, when we found out the inklings that they were going to make a live action Transformers movie, we were fighting for for Optimus Prime to be voiced by Peter Cullen and Megatron to be voiced by Frank Welker. We wanted Dan Gilvezan as Bumblebee. We wanted Michael Bell brought back as Prowl. We wanted all of those voice actors to come back, because, we wanted them to really take the franchise not only to the new level, but also to, so that the older fans can connect to the newer fans. And, it took a lot of fighting, because apparently Michael Bay did not want anything to do with the older voice actors or whatever. And apparently Peter Cullen had to audition 3 times before they finally said yes. And they finally caved and gave, Peter Cullen the voice of Optimus Prime again in the movies, which really helped bring the fans back together in a way. Even if a lot of us older fans don't like the movies, it's still great to have Peter Cullen still voicing the character again. And he's still doing it, and everybody, now we all get to show our adoration to him as well. So for all the work that he's done, and you're muted.
I'm over here drinking my water, and then I unmute myself. His voice certainly is iconic, and it's so scruffy and gritty and dark while still having like a hint of cheer. It's like, it's like a cup of coffee with some alcohol in it. It's I don't know that that's the best way to describe it, but that's the first thing that came to me. But anyways, congratulations to him. And Roddy, I'm sure you nerded out when you saw that, which is
absolutely
great. All right, let's move on. I want to talk about this guy below me. Danny, how are you?
Great. How are you, Craig?
I'm good, buddy. Good. So we've known each other, not intimately, but we've known each other for a long time. And you, my friend, have gone full-on superstar since we saw each other 15 years ago.
If you say so.
Look at you. 1.47 million subscribers on YouTube.
That does sound like a lot.
Yeah. Do you have the big button?
I do. Oh. I have the gold plaque. You could beat somebody with it. It's huge. Awesome. It's heavy.
It's bigger than the silver one, that's for sure. I know that.
Oh yeah.
So you have the 1.5 million subscribers on YouTube. You have over on TikTok, you have almost 1 million followers over there. On Instagram, you have another over 200,000 followers on Instagram. And the whole idea here is that you walk up to people and you ask them to take their pictures, right? What's amazing about this is that I've seen your videos like many times. They ended up in my feed somehow. And this is long before you were going to come on, right? And I've seen your videos without actually knowing it was you. And what's funny was I was prepping for the show today, and I went back and I was like looking at your shorts, and I was like, oh shit, it's Danny. Like, holy crap, I've seen this before. But let's just kind of watch one real quick. This one has 6.5 million views, so I figured this would probably be a good one to start with. You have one that has 88 million.
I know.
What? How
Yeah,
the what?
and that was with a completely random person I just walked up to. I never met her in my life. I gave her no pep talk, anything, and she was like a character out of a movie. I felt like I won the lottery.
Okay, well, you clearly did, because 88 million views will do that to you.
It was wet, man.
Yeah, no joke. That's insane. So let's go and watch this one, your most popular one here, and see kind of what you do, because this should encapsulate everything perfectly.
Yep.
Could I stop you for a moment? I thought you looked very enigmatic with the white and the
I'll
tattoos.
photography too. What do you want?
Could I take your picture?
Yes.
Uh-oh. Okay. So the irony, I haven't seen this one. She was a photographer, and she knew you wanted to take her picture, and here we
I
are.
don't like get my nipples hard. They look better in the shirt if they're hard. Actually weird.
Wow.
What's weird? You?
I want to do this with beads.
Do it. Oh, that's cool. Ha.
I did not know she was going to do that.
Love that.
Just casually look up at me from your phone. I think we're good.
I'm just being a goof.
I love it.
Love.
Excuse me.
Okay. So that's the bit. That's the whole thing, is you walk up to girls, mostly girls, or people. It seems like girls do the best in this.
On average, you know, break the numbers down, you'll make a lot more money if you walk up to the pretty ladies.
All right.
For sure.
So you walk up to the pretty ladies and you say, in the most non-creeper way possible, hello.
I try to be very polite, yes.
Hi, may I take your picture? Right? Which on the surface seems like
it sounds that way when you just say it like that. But when
yeah.
Right. So, okay, number one, walk me through the process. When we were like, what made you go like, hey, this would be a fun video to do, right? Like this would be like, how did this start?
Yeah, so I was in New Orleans and working at restaurants in the French Quarter. I was not good at that. The only reason why I wasn't fired is because I was always sober and on time, which was quite rare and valuable. But I wanted to do something artistic and creative. My past creative ventures only ever lost me money, and it was all passion project. Then I started to see TikTok was a thing, and to me, I was like, "Oh, I do not like this. This is really weird. I don't even understand this." But I gave it a chance and saw, hey, you could make a living making a series of videos that have almost no production value and are based off of, I mean, you don't have to have a crew or anything. You could just do it all yourself. And I had about 60 different ideas of videos I could make. I thought I could do well. And just one of them had to do with photography. I saw this series of videos, multiple videos of the same format and structure, where it was somebody with a GoPro on their shoulder or on their chest or something, and they would walk up to somebody who's clearly they didn't know, and they would ask them, hey, can I do a photo for you? They do the photo for them. You see it the moment they take it. There's a little interaction. So for me, it was, okay, you got to find an interesting person. You have to take an amazing photo, and it's got to be edited in this slick and rhythmic flow. And if I do that, I'll have done the best version of this, because I saw versions of that format where it was so bare bones. And I thought, hey, this is already a trend. This is already doing well. I think I could do this better than anybody with the skills that I already have. And in the place that I was in the French Quarter in New Orleans, the characters and the friendliness, the Southern hospitality. So I would just walk up. I walked up to this doorman at the Hotel Monteleone and asked him, hey, could I take your portrait? And he's like, yeah, absolutely. And he was so warm and welcoming. And when I showed him the photo, I mean, he just about cried. He was like, wow, I'm that beautiful. Like, yeah, man, you are. You're amazing. And he really set the tone for the whole thing of, hey, you can do this in a way where it's like a gift. giving it to people, and not anything strange or creepy, but you have to be very delicate with your presence and your distance from people, and so I've learned how to do it better. At first, I was just failing forward. I had no clue. It was right after COVID was starting to calm down, and man, I moved to New Orleans not knowing anybody. I was so lonely. So for me, even if the videos weren't successful, it was enriching because I got to practice photography, I got to meet people, and I got to make videos. So by the fifth one got about million views on TikTok, and I'm still at the restaurant, and I see this while I'm working at the restaurant going, I have no idea what this means. I'm like Craig, where when we were, a couple of years ago, we get YouTube, like 1 million views on YouTube. That was a huge deal.
Right.
So to me, I'm like, is this that? What is this? And well, I'm gonna keep going, and I'll understand it, eventually.
Well, so you see success on TikTok. What is that? Like, what does 1 million views on TikTok mean? Is that like
nothing?
Like, can you monetize it? Do you monetize TikTok? Like, how does that work?
Yeah. So at the beginning, they had this creator fund where you would make maybe $20 for 1 million views.
Oh wow!
Which is like nothing in my mind.
Yeah,
it's different now. Now they can accept you into this program called the Creativity Beta program, where any video over 1 minute, you will get better ad revenue than anywhere else, period.
Mm-hmm.
And so now if you get the last video I did, one of the last that did really well, it got, I think, 3 million views and made $400-500. So way better. So it's always evolving. You got to keep your finger on the pulse, and everything's changing. It's so ephemeral, and it's a lot.
Right. So, okay. You started walking up to these people. You realized that that pretty young women is the way to go, right? You figure this out. Like, so women are a lot different now than they were when I was dating, right? Like you have social media apps, you have dating apps, and walking up to somebody and saying hello to somebody can be seen as assault, brother.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Like, which is just the dumbest shit ever. But have you had any like negative interactions where people are like, get away from me, creep, or anything like that?
Never.
Okay.
Never. But the thing about me, I realize I have an advantage because there's something about me or my face or something where people implicitly trust me. Like, people put so much trust in me that it really, with great power comes great responsibility.
Yeah,
so I have to be beyond reproach, because it's amazing how people just assume I'm there to do them right, almost always. And if they don't want to be involved with me, they're like, no, I'm good. And it's fine. Only one person ever tried to fight me.
Really?
But that was in New York. And I wasn't even talking to him. I just walked by. I was doing a photo shoot with my friend. And this guy, he was like, hey. And I thought he was pointing out my camera, like, yeah, that's a nice camera. I said, yeah, that's a great Fujifilm. I love it. But no, he was trying to provoke me into a fight. He's like, why are you taking my picture? I'm like, I wasn't even thinking about you. You're trying to bring me. It became obvious. Okay, this dude, he's just looking for a fight. So I just walked away. But yeah, that's the only negative thing. And the only other negative thing is people saying, nasty things about me in, 100,000 comments, but that's the internet.
Well, wait, what are they saying that's mean about you?
Well, especially at the beginning, people were saying how wrong it is for me to approach women in public, just in general. And I thought about that. I was like, well, how are you supposed to meet your wife? How are you, like, can't you do things in a way that's like socially sophisticated, that makes people smile and like makes their day? So I tried to do that, and that would happen so often. And the other thing with it is, then when I started to get bored of Oh, I just walk up to strangers. I wanted to work with some comedians. I wanted to work with some models. I wanted to do some different stuff. It's just the same thing over and over.
Right.
And then I met this woman in Los Angeles who I thought was the most beautiful I'd ever seen in my life. And I'd just seen photos of her. And then when she walked into this cafe, we planned to meet up and take some pics. When she walked in the cafe, I experienced the first reverse catfish of my life, where she was far, far more beautiful in person than her pictures would convey, which, I mean, you can make yourself look amazing in photos with the magic of, filters, etc. And she was so funny, and it was like I had gone to school with her for 10 years. Like, we'd been best friends for forever in like 5 minutes.
Now,
shot it.
Is this girl, Coco?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Okay, because
That's
she's in a lot of your stuff.
Yeah, she's my main. She's my muse. She's my business partner now, because we hit it off so much. So the video we shot about 20 minutes after we met each other, 50 million people saw that. And it's just, it's completely mind-boggling. I don't even know. It's crazy.
So who's your audience? Is it like? Yeah, like
my audience is
demographics.
My audience is me 9 years ago. It's 18 to 24 male. That's it for
dudes looking at hot girls.
Yeah, I mean, there's all these different elements. There's
have balls of steel like you do.
Well, for me, I think of it as, okay, there is sex appeal, there's comedy. There's something shocking or dramatic or visceral. There's all these different elements that you try to supercharge these little clips with, because they're so short. You got to pack, as much concentrated drama, energy, beauty, aesthetic, everything into that. So yeah, sex appeal that's the easy one, but I think humor, that's what people stay for, humor and personality. And so with her, she's got the look, she's got the humor, she's got the personality. And so yeah, I look for those, especially really funny improvisers do amazing. So I did a video with the comedian Mike Birbiglia where he was just improvising. We just improvised this little bit where he beats me up. And it was so funny in Central Park. And I just love doing it.
Cool. I mean, that sounds
Mary Jane Watson right there, I tell you.
Right.
There's that panel from the Spider-Man comic where he meets Mary Jane Watson, and the door opens and she says something like, "You hit the jackpot," or something like that. And that's definitely the feeling.
So is there you said she's your muse. Is there more to this relationship, or?
Well, that's the topic of debate in the comments. Is the shipping is quite never ending, and people send me messages if I post pictures of another woman. People message me and they say, "Danny, Coco is gonna beat your ass. You know that, right?" Like, so people because the videos are my POV, I'm the audience. The audience, they relate to me. And so they're in love with her, and they want me to get with her because it's like vicariously them getting with her.
It's cool that you realize that. Like, it's very cool.
I mean, it's just projection, parasocial weirdness. I just try to stay out of that, and I just joke about the comments. We joke about it, and I just leave it at that.
Well, here's the
Yep.
This says the date. This is
we met.
legit the day you met?
Yes.
Okay, let's see what it is. Is this your first interaction?
This is about 20 minutes after we met. Yeah.
Okay, so this, but you saying hi, excuse me, this is not real. Like, this is
right. So every video with her has been set up. Everything is just with her. Yeah.
Right.
I usually charge $100 an hour.
I was just wondering if I could take pictures of you.
Still $100 an hour.
Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Yo, your camera, it's like a mirror. Like it captures like, no, not what I meant.
It captures like exactly. You can't use that. Can you do it?
Okay. Okay. So you've created almost with Coco, you've created some sort of like I don't know.
Fantasy.
Yeah, like a fantasy. Yeah, like a
Oh
fantasy
yeah,
story almost.
that's definitely. Look, I'll take anything I can use. I'm using to my advantage of it's a mass appeal. It's like a broad thing, and I know if I don't think like in people's heads of like universally appealing, I have to put myself in that mindset of, well, what would Danny want to see? What would he want to do? What would he want to live? Like, what's the dream, when he's 20? Oh, well, that for sure.
Right. Right. So
now, I don't know if you noticed, the music in the background is from a Super Nintendo game. Let's see if Craig can.
let's take a listen.
This is about our friendship now, not even about.
It's a cover. It's a jazz cover
Yeah, it's
of
definitely
a Super Nintendo. I'll be very surprised if you.
You can't.
The chat's saying Earthbound.
Yes.
Okay. Because I say I don't want to. I don't want to pretend
We
like
had to bring it back to gaming, just like the people in the comments.
So almost every piece of music in my videos is a cover of retro video game music made by this band who I am partnered with, named The Consoles, CONSOULS.
Console.
And they do these amazing versions of retro video game music. I just love them so much.
That's awesome, man. So it started off. Okay, so I'm trying to track your career here now. How long have you been doing this?
2 years.
Okay, so 2 years, and you're over a million and you're approaching 1.5 million subs on YouTube. Fuck me. And you started off taking photos of folks. You met Coco, and now in addition to these like the street photography that you do, you have this kind of like this relationship story thing going on with Coco in each, like, that are kind of like standalone episodes type thing.
Yeah,
right?
that's some soap opera going on for sure. And I have to say, just as a disclaimer, I'm not the only one who does this format. I did not invent this format whatsoever. There are a bunch of different people. Like my friend David, he's even more successful than me on YouTube. He's an amazing person. This is like a whole little genre now.
Okay.
And I gotta say about the big growth, it is not the same YouTube anymore. It is so different.
Right.
The short form media, they want to like pimp you out. They want you to do great because they want to compete with TikTok and Instagram, etc. I mean, so they sort of I rode a wave. I am not the wave itself. I'm a surfer. There was the wave. It was going up. I rode it, and I'm riding it, and it won't last. It's like that big of a blow up. It's just not sustainable. It's very scary, actually, and but also I'm very grateful at the same time. It's weird. I don't know what to. I still don't quite know how to think about what it really means, since YouTube has changed so much. It makes it feel like, have I just exploited this technology like loophole through short form media by making like this fast food, super saturated version of these little social media clips? It's like, what is going on? I don't even know.
Hey, you do you, man. You do you. So I got your Social Blade pulled up here, which is fascinating.
Oh boy.
You did 200 million views in a month.
Okay, so I'll reveal the secrets on this.
And is this short videos? This is all shorts?
Mostly, yeah.
Okay. What's the secret on this?
Okay, well, the secret is I'm just revealing my trade secrets right now to everybody.
Please.
Yep. So on TikTok, in the first year, I made about 60 videos that were around a minute or 2 minutes each. And those 60 videos, I hadn't put anything on YouTube. And I reached a point where I had moved to New York, and I was there for 3 months, and I was trying to do photo shoots. I was using the social media to like advertise my own services. Hey, I'm that guy you've seen. Hire me. I'm in New York. I'll do some photos for you. So I did that and tried to make a living in New York. And wow, $2,000 a month rent in the cheapest place I could find with 4 other roommates, and you're paying $2,000 each. Wow, that is hard to maintain. And TikTok, like I was saying, they would pay you like $20 for 1 million views. Then I got a bit desperate. I did not quit. I did not give up. I made a strategic retreat from New York back home to my parents' house where I could stay for free. And I thought, yeah, I was like, what? Okay, I got to dig a little deeper here and figure out what I'm going to do. So then I decided I'm going to upload this library of 60 videos that I have that have done really well on TikTok. Like, they're verified. These videos do well. I'm going to upload one of them a day, every day for 60 days straight on YouTube. And it was nothing. But after 2 weeks, it cascaded into the most insane blow up of getting 1 million subscribers from that first of 60 uploads. It was, I think, 6 months from like 100 subscribers to 1 million.
Wow.
It was insane.
That is insane. That is just
a lot of people have had growth like that around that time of year.
Yeah,
like and people were just anytime they put shorts in, all of a sudden they were getting a lot of hits, and a lot of the hits, where is your analytics like telling you the foot traffic is from? Like where are people actually watching your videos from?
Well, location wise, it's the United States, and then the second biggest demographic is India, and then it kind of splits apart from there.
That's crazy. So okay, here's the biggest question I think that most people want to know. Like, short views and regular, traditional content views are drastically different. They're in separate buckets on YouTube, right? Yes. You don't make money on shorts like you do on YouTube. Like, if you did 200 million views
I'd be rich, but I'm not.
Like, you'd be stupid rich. Like,
yeah.
Right. But 200 million views primarily on shorts, that's a lot different. So after your strategic retreat, have you been able to turn this into a career to where you're doing this full time?
Yes. Yes. At first, YouTube, they gave me the biggest check I'd ever seen in my life at that point, which to most people probably not all that much, because I never had any money. I just worked at restaurants, and $8,000 for that. The biggest like premiere month where I uploaded all 60.
Hold on.
Like this,
hold on. Let's just stop quick. You made $8,000 from 2 million views on YouTube.
Something like that. Okay,
that's balls crazy. That is balls crazy. Like, not that it's so low, right?
Right.
Like I said, if you were to do 200 million views of traditional video on YouTube, what I generally say is, for every million views, it's like $2,000, right? So that'd be close to $400,000.
Yeah.
And you made $8,000 from the 2 million.
Right.
views.
So this is the price that you pay for the wide distribution, the amplification of your independent signal. Is you don't make very much, even if it is seen by everyone all over the world.
Right. So, okay. So you did that. You saw the initial growth off from shorts. How is that translated over to your because you've uploaded, traditional videos, right? That are more traditional in length. Have you seen that audience transfer over? Or because the general thought, and I'm sure Roddy's had this conversation before, is that shorts viewers don't translate to regular views.
Yeah,
regular viewers. Yeah,
they don't, unless they do. It just depends on the timing, really. Because the videos with Coca, once those were uploaded, the short form ones, and then I was, oh, well, I'll put the full version. I'll put like a 2.5 minute version instead of just a 60-second little clip. And I don't know if it's the thumbnail of her with the ice cream cone. I got to admit, that's probably part of it. But I think it was the timing as well. People just happened to see that at the right time. And a lot of people saw that. But yeah, it's really difficult to, it's either one or the other, you know, almost all the time. You're either doing the shorts on YouTube or you're doing the regular videos. And it's very, very rare for there to be any crossover.
It's really interesting because we have gone out of our way to avoid shorts specifically on this channel, right? Because that's the idea is like, well, you make these shorts, you grow in subscribers, but you pigeonhole yourself, right? And we have purposely avoided TikTok mainly because of the principle of it, right? The principle of the backing of it and all that stuff. But it's also dumb for us to avoid using TikTok because it's so massive, right? But our audience isn't 18 to 25-year-old dudes, right?
Yeah.
Who are looking to be, you know, looking at hot girls eating ice cream, right?
Right.
So it's a little different. Roddy, you gotta have some questions for Danny. I'm sure you.
Yeah, I mean, you're trying to right now. You're trying to bring, I guess, bridge that gap between the long form and the short form content, and then I guess because, I mean, I don't think that the bubble will ever really burst for that. I mean, I've seen people who still go to conventions and still, you know, interview, you know, cosplayers and stuff like that. There's still ways for you to use your photography the way that you do. Has it started to trickle into your long form content? Has that started to getting an uptick recently at all, or is that something you're still working on?
Yeah. So during the biggest blow up when it first started, and I was doing the 60 days straight video a day, that's when if I was gonna put up a regular 1 minute plus video, that's when people were most paying attention to them. Now it's really a gamble. It just depends. I never know. I didn't think I made a rejection compilation of just me walking up to people and people telling me no.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I did see that.
And you know, that got, I think, 100,000 views or something, and that's like two or 3 minutes or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. And then other videos only get 20,000, or it's just, I don't really depend on the long form very much. I try to make sure, okay, well, the YouTube shorts, that's going well. All right, over here, okay, that's going well. All right, on TikTok, everything's going well over there. All right, okay. On Facebook, all right, everything's going well over there. In the combination of the income of the three, that's how I can continue doing this. And at this point, I'm still trying to figure it out. There are people doing what I'm doing who are making so much money selling photo editing presets and things like that. And I'm not as much into that. Maybe I should be. But yeah, I'm still figuring out. I'm making enough that I can continue to do this and continue to experiment some. But I could definitely be more optimized. I'm trying to do that now.
Well, I'll tell you this, man, just looking at your social blade and seeing the growth, like most people would kill for the type of growth that you see here. Just 30,000 subscribers every month. Like, to put that in perspective, that's 1,000 subscribers a day. That is ridiculous. 25 million views a month. I mean, and to put that in perspective, like, so Screw Attack's best month on YouTube was, I believe, 38 million views in a month, right? And that was like gangbusters. And you did, 7, 8 times that, which is crazy.
Yeah. So, but the thing is, Craig, and this is what I've had to learn is those numbers. So, for example, the impact that you had with the 30 million on Screw Attack versus my 100 million or whatever, I almost guarantee like yours had way more impact than mine, because with the short form media, there's this casualness to it. There's this
sure.
lack of depth to it. There's people with 1 million followers who say, hey, I'm going to be at this convention doing a panel. And who shows up? Not one person. Because their 1 million fans are people who,
it's shallow. It's shallow.
Yeah,
they're
it's
viewers,
so shallow.
not fans. Yeah.
Yeah, they glance at, that person's slightly amusing. I'd like to be slightly amused by them for a couple seconds every now and then. That's it. Whereas with Screw Attack, me watching those videos, and I don't know how many views they have, not as much comparatively, but when I went to the Hilton, I think it was the Hilton,
yeah,
and in Dallas Fort Worth, and the first person I saw was Jose walking by. I was starstruck. I was like, oh my God. And that's, but people won't do that for me. They won't travel across the country for me. So I think that level of depth of the audience, that's a really important factor, or else it's like, man, you're getting all these views, blah, 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 blah. But I think it's significantly different in that way.
Right.
Yes.
And I think there's, the idea of when you watch, you're just swiping up, swipe, and just go to the next one, And we've all been down that rabbit hole before. So,
and you'll like videos and not even remember them. Because it's so quick. Okay, next. Okay, next. And who was that? What was that? Danny? Who? So
right. And I mean, there's a lot of truth in what you're saying. The substance attached to the audience for sure, which is, we oogle at your viewership numbers and your subscriber numbers, right? And we are like, I'm incredibly proud that we were able to reach 60,000 subscribers in 9 months. But the reality is that our subscribers are, and this is going to sound, they're more valuable in that they come every day, right? You guys who are watching right now, you guys who have stuck around to watch this, us talk to Danny about his success on YouTube, like you guys, like, who I am, right? You guys have got to know me every day, and that's really important. And, we have a relationship, whereas as opposed to just a swipey thing.
Yep.
So, yeah. But it's very much comparing apples to oranges, as Karen said in the chat. So, and congratulations to Wait for coming every day. Congratulations. That's it. Let's go. CEO.
We're always trying to grow our own audiences. You know what I mean? Like, and you're trying to hit that niche. Like you've hit I mean, there is a niche that you've hit, and I think it'll continue to grow. I mean, Craig here has got his audience that he's either had for a long time, where people continue to tune in because they enjoy watching him daily. They tune into me, who does Transformer stuff, but they want to see your photography too. And that your skill and your talent, shows in your videos and shows in your work. So, if you continue with that, you'll have a continuing growing audience. So.
Yeah, I hope so. And the thing is, I watched when Craig made his YouTube channel a while ago, and I saw Craig experimenting, and it seemed to me like you didn't quite know what you wanted to hone in on yet. And then I watched as you honed in on it, and man, I've watched that growth of you and how it compounds and compounded.
Yeah.
As you became more and more specific with what you wanted to do. And I'm really impressed by it. I could not do that.
Well, it's definitely been, figuring out, if you look at what this channel was a year ago, it's drastically different than what it is now.
Yes.
Right. And the biggest thing was, about 14 months ago when I left, I was outside of the gaming industry. I stepped back in and I looked at this whole space, and I was like, wow, gaming is fucking insane. And that's like been the whole mantra of this show is letting people know that you're not insane, that there's sanity left in this world. And it's amazing when you tell people like, Crabs in the chat, or Karen, or who, CEO or whoever, that, hey, you're not fucking insane. Like, you're a normal person and everything that you're seeing that's the insane part. How far that goes, and just being consistent. So yeah, it's been great. It's been a really fun ride, and we'll see where we're at in 9 months from now. Hopefully we can get to that 100K and continue to grow, because 60,000 subscribers with a podcast is vastly different than pretty much everything else. Those who subscribe to your channel on a podcast channel, they're in it with you. They're in it for the grind, which is really encouraging and exciting. So Solo Eclipse wants to know what my pronouns are. My pronouns are fuck off. How's that? Man, it's amazing stuff, man. I'm really excited for you. I'm excited for your success. I'm excited for you to figure out everything that you have going on still. That's the reality of it. Going back to the Screw Attack, and even with side scrollers now, like the fact that 2 years is not a long time in this, and there's still a lot of figuring out to do, for you, for this, and for everything else. When you were 2 years into Screw Attack, we're figuring it out as we go, right in the playbook, and specifically with short form content, and it's still very, very new in the space. So congratulations, man. It's great.
Thank you.
All right. I want to read a couple of these super chats real quick. Mercenary says, Mario movie I saw 3 times in theater. I want animated following the games as well. But I want Luigi's Mansion with Ghostbusters cameos. Perfect crossover.
That would be cool.
I don't know if you're going to see that, but it would be neat.
Because Sony owns Ghostbusters property right now.
Yes,
don't they? Yeah. So,
and Mercenaries came back and says, Peter's speech here makes me want to cry. It's hard. Thank you, Mercenary. Appreciate it. Blake came in with the 2, says you can never buy silence. You can only rent it. Speaking of the Sony situation a minute ago. And Shane says, speaking of song lyrics, it wasn't until this year that I actually understood the meaning behind of the song Hook by Blues Traveler. The popularity of the song proved their point. Hook, I know the song. I don't know. I haven't looked at the lyrics of that song. So Shane, maybe we'll do that a little bit later on. So
more song lyrics read by Craig with his great face.
More performances.
Well, I'll tell you what I am going to do today. I am going to be streaming over on the Side Scrollers Plays channel, and I'm going to be doing that here around 2:00. But I'm not going to be playing any video games today. I'm going to be doing something that I feel is important to do. I saw you guys have seen this completionist story over the last month or so. Danny, are you familiar with the completionist? He's an old Screw Attack guy.
Yeah. I remember him, and I saw some video that you did recently. There is some controversy or
yes. Well, the long and short of it is his the entire Discord call that he had has been leaked, and it's like 45 minutes long, and I haven't had time to listen to it, but I feel like it's important to listen to it. So I'm going to be listening to that in real time over on the Side Scrollers Plays channel, because I feel like it's important for me to do so. And I want to do a little bit of live streaming this afternoon. So if you guys want to head over to the Side Scrollers Plays channel and join me over there, that'll be around 2:00 Central Time, about 90 minutes from now, after I get some lunch, take care of some business. But I think that's a great place to stop for the day. Danny, congratulations, man. It's great to catch up, and I look forward to seeing your continued success and see where you and Coco go in the future.
Oh boy. Thank you.
Roddy,
just be careful if we see him start going from building to building and across some webs.
Yeah. Yep.
Roddy, love you, buddy. Congratulations on your big move. I'm excited to see what you do with the consistency on your channel. And make sure you guys go over and subscribe to the Rodimus Primal YouTube channel. I encourage everybody to do that if you guys are into the Transformer thing, because this dude loves his fucking Transformers. I'll tell you that.
I do. That indeed I do. Certainly. I transformed this guy live on stream, and Craig was wondering why in the world was there a whole bunch of clicking noise. But you can see everything there. And yes, there will be a review for that guy coming soon. You can see him standing there very tall.
What is that guy?
That is Studio Series 86 Ultra Magnus.
All right.
Finally got him out of the box, been playing around with him, messing around with him quite a bit. And we'll be doing a lot of cool stuff with that. And then I got a retrospective for one of the characters that is on the shelf above here is coming before Christmas, or at least it's supposed to be. And and of course, you could probably already see there this issue right here is signed by Bob Budiansky, but you can't really see it with the
it's far
screen.
away. Yeah.
I can go on and on about the stuff behind me, but Transformers all day, every day.
That's great,
and
man.
Love my robots in disguise.
Cool. That's great, man. Well, I love it. Make sure you guys go and subscribe to these wonderful gentlemen's channels, Danny's and Roddy over there. And of course, you can find me over on the Side Scrollers Plays channel a little bit. All right. Tomorrow we got Adam and Flawed Oil and Water on the show. It's going to be a good one as always. Wednesdays are fucking chaos with those two. So look forward to that. With that said, guys, have a great rest of your day. Look forward to everybody. And thank you again for hitting our goal of 20 memberships. Give it up. That was awesome. Great stuff today. Appreciate you guys popping in. And remember, people are going to try to keep you down. Don't let them. You guys got a goal. Go get it. See you guys later. Have a great day. Bye-bye.